Opposing Gloves here, and today we're going to be talking about what it takes to make an effect. So we're going to be making this chorus effect, but we need to understand what it takes before we sit down to make an effect, before we can start pumping out videos on like how to make effects, why certain things work, and things of that nature. So to make an effect, you have to do a couple of things. First, you have to pick what you want to do. If you don't have something you want to do when you sit down, you're going to accomplish zero things. And you got to pick something reasonable at your skill level. If you say like, I'm going to sit down and make an amazing reverb plugin that like no one's ever heard, and you don't know anything about reverb at all, you are in over your head. You should start making a really simple reverb plugin. So I chose Chorus. It's a super nice beginner level DSP thing to do. It involves some of the fundamentals that we can later apply to things like reverb, which is a little more complicated. And it allows us to also branch into a family of effects. So I picked it, and it's also just fun to do. So that's why I picked this thing. So we have to pick a goal. The next thing you really got to wrap your head around is once you've picked it, you can start working on it because now you have a goal. So you'll get something done. But you really need to have an understanding of how to do this thing. For example, a chorus. How does a chorus work? What are the basics of a chorus? And you'll go online and you'll find videos. You can either find videos of people explaining what a chorus is and how it does its job, and then you can think of how can I translate this to something I can make in Reactor, or maybe you can look up electrical circuits or formulas other people have already invented to make chorus plugins. So you could get into some stuff that's way heavier than maybe you're ready for, or you're just exposing yourself to different ideas. So we have to wrap our head around what's going on. For example, if we want to make a chorus, we need to know that, a chorus clones our signal and then applies a pitch variation to our clone and combines it with the original signal, and the resulting warbly effect is called chorusing. So we know we have to split our signal. So we've identified a couple things. We have to split our signal, and we have to change its pitch in a particular way and then combine it to get our effect. So we know that that's now our goal. Now we can focus on implementation. We can say, okay, how am I going to implement this? How am I going to split the signal? Do I want to split the signal more than once? When I do split the signal, how am I going to change the pitch of that signal? Like, how do I do that? And so we begin to think about these sorts of things. Our questions have gone from what do I want to make to pretty specific questions. And so this will apply distortion plugins, the chorus plugins. All these things are things that, you're going to go down this process. It's the same for all of them. If you have like a different process, I'm kind of interested to hear it. And then the last one is self-discovery. So you ideally will discover some way of doing what it is you want to do, and you'll do it. And after you've done it, you'll have plenty of moments. They happen to me on the simplest of things of, wow, what if I had done this instead? Or what if I had routed it like this? Or what if I had done this? And you should travel down every single one of those paths. You should go down as many of them as possible. You will find things that will be incredibly useful as you go. You'll have an intuition about moves you could make, and you'll have reasons for doing those moves as you go down more and more of these paths. And it'll also be way easier for you to understand how other people may have done things. So that's the pattern, okay? Have a goal, go out, seek out the processing, how it works fundamentally, get a general sort of sketch of what it is you're going to do, a general signal flow diagram, and then you're going to implement it, and then you're going to go down these weird additional paths, and you will begin to accumulate knowledge so that you can begin to combine techniques and effects. So that's basically it for making a plugin. And you can apply this on this level. This is how we're going to be implementing it, but you could get into programming. The problem with it is now you have a lot more to worry about. So that's why it's kind of nice to work in a program like this. We can focus on DSP. We'll bring up the programming and stuff, later on when we want to do stuff with that. So that's making an audio effect process. Some, if you've never done it, this just may not occur to you. So I just want to lay it out clear on why I'm choosing to do certain things the way I choose to do them. I want to try and match your discovery process to a large extent. I don't want to throw at you things that you're like, I would have never thought to do that. I want it to make sense. I want it to have this, I want it to be a continuous function. I want you to be able to say, oh, that makes sense on why you did that, because you ran into this problem or this problem. So it might not always be the most pristine way of showing you first. It might be the way that makes the most sense to reach that conclusion first, which is usually way more easy to understand and way more useful, because in the pristine way, you go, oh, wow, that's an excellent way of doing that. So that's the plan. If you have any questions about this, let me know. If you have any of your advice, maybe you're really advanced and amazing at doing this sort of a thing, drop your wisdom in the comments below. And have a blessed day.